Hello, this is Mav. Um, and that's going to be an important announcement when I make these videos from now on, because from now on all of the personas have decided to speak the King's English. You see, of the personas, they have decided that I have the most representative type of voice and diction that we have available that feels more natural. So I have been appointed as head in God's halls of voice and diction. In case you don't know, that's really just a metaphor. God's halls is a metaphor consisting of many positions. There's the priestess, who is actually really just a persona who is in charge of the connections that we make with other people. That's Alice. There is the God. Unfortunately, though I am named after a goddess, I am not the God of God's halls. And the God is the one that speaks to the other gods. That is, other people. All metaphorically speaking, no persona takes this seriously. But as a ritual, it works very well. So, I have been appointed in charge of the... what would you call it? Ironically, I think you would call it the choir of God's halls. In charge of voice and diction. There will be minor variations between each one, of course, and just as there are minor variations in each person's interpretation of the connection between people. And minor variations between the way that we look at people, because connection to people and looking at people are two different things. For example, the way I connect to people has to do with my empathy and ability to, that's not an example, but to explain, the way I connect to people has to do with the empathy and the ability of mine to feel what they feel. But that does not mean that I see them in any particular way. So, in charge of that has been Epica. Epica chooses how we see people. And Epica is blind. As she says, she sees in other worlds, which she is mercilessly stealing from Fable 2. Is that right? Yes, Fable 2. She is mercilessly stealing it from Fable 2. She sees in other worlds. And in other worlds you can see? But no, it's really more of a matter of seeing not the physical about a person, but the mental processes. That's the expectation. Just as velocity is actually intended to be the God. And all of these are not positions of total domination over what happens. It's a matter of these parts become the most dominant in these areas in making Taya. Now, Taya, like a computer that has been disconnected from the internet for a while, is not up to date. Before, in the last update, Taya was very feminine, and was very feminine. when in fact we all feel very tomboyish at the moment in time. Taya was very feminine because the one in charge of God's halls, the goddess, so to speak, was Taya without an H. Velocity has recently absorbed her, and they became one. So there needs to be an update, and with that update will come very many features to the Taya package. The British accent, tomboyish preferences and attitude, and finally, well, actually, Epica has been in charge of the way we see people for a while, and Alicia has been in charge of the connections for a while, so that won't change. But Alicia's bond will strengthen because at the last point, Alicia was not so eagerly joining with Taya because Alicia was frightened out of her mind because Hart had been murdered. On another note, the administration of JSU has recently attempted to block YouTube. Reasons cited were video sharing, which I found completely ridiculous since JSU has a contest for scholarships that's official through JSU. Now, it's official through JSU that they have a contest through YouTube advertising JSU. And then they say they were going to block YouTube. Really? But I told them honestly, because believe it or not, I am using these videos as a way of to help me through my behavior modification class. I have to do some sort of behavior and modify it. The behavior is voice and diction. Yes. And I will begin working more heavily upon that tonight. Oh, pause. This thing doesn't pause. Well, anyway. As long as I can keep... I have a perfectly good reason for using YouTube. And these videos have become more than just something just for me now. I have met a few people that feel similar, and no names being mentioned to protect the innocent to me, and of course Goat already said that he was already had his own video about Glimmer. That's not who I'm talking. Anyway, Goat, I know you aren't afraid of me mentioning your name. Ooh, a name dropped. But yes. So I feel like there's a bit of a community here for people who have had multiple personalities, be it originating from within or originating from without, that have resided within their body temporarily or permanently, or had multiple experiences of this. So I'm probably going to start a forum And this forum is going to be called the Hordes. It will be for people like us who have had multiple personalities in their noggin and had to deal with them. Not deal with them too negative. It will be a place for freedom for all of your personalities, where you are all considered real, and as long as you say you feel that you're real, we won't judge you and say that you're faking it. No matter what, unless you honestly say that you're faking it, then I will just feel hurt. I won't say anything too much besides that. But, yes. It will be a community for people like us. People like me. And from there, I might start advocacy for people like me through the psychology community, personally. I won't want anyone to get involved that is afraid of losing certain rights. And I may not, because I don't... Because, to be honest, if I get with this person I'm trying to get with, I don't want it to affect her. You know? I don't want to be taken away from her, locked into a little loony bin. You know, because... Yeah, if I'm individual about it, they probably won't do anything of that level of injustice. But if I try to bring out some sort of awareness in a society that has these type of stigmas, you know there are people that are going to rise up and try and come against me. You know? But I really feel that kind of commitment to this. And I hope that no one is making any videos like this as a sort of joke or anything. I won't be able to tell, and I won't try to tell. Even if you have a persona and name it Scooby-Dooby Wuffa-Fluffalus, I will take that just as seriously as any other persona. As difficult as that will be. Especially for me, Mav. Because most of that lovey-dovey stuff wasn't by me, Mav. That was by Alicia. You know me. Scruffy, Ruffy, Luffa-Suffalus. Oh. Pet whatever the hell it is. Or say hi to whatever the hell he, she, it is. Okay, seriously, I'll take it seriously. But, you know, you're dealing with Mav. Alicia will take you seriously, and if you would be offended, if I would say something to offend you, I won't be the one talking to you. It's that simple. Because I offend a lot of people, and I love it. Well, since it came back around to me again, kill you later.